Okay, Kaibay, like this was such a great experience always to come to TMC because you get the things you do in the morning, like having cardio to actually come up over here. You get the sunlight pa, diba? So it's always a very healthy thing to come here.
Yeah. We call this the Tops Gym. Mo ni Tops Gym bay. Mo na nga ang mga empleyado sa TMC ug sa Tops mismo mga kuan kay mga healthy kayo.
Yeah.
Tungod kay kuan yung kayo cardio yung kaysa na. So
you definitely will have a body that is tops.
yeah,
notch.
tops notch. Oh, so kinsa man imong ida karong buntaga kaning Alex kay murag ikaw aside from your fire starter, you also have artists under your belt,
Yeah,
right? And not literally but just figuratively kalisod na kayo.
Yeah.
Kaning kinsa man imong gida karong adlaw Alex?
So see, this artist is under part of the Fire Starter Collective.
Okay.
There's 4 of us, but he's the one from Sikihor. He came all the way from Sikihor to just like do some gigs, recordings, and all that stuff here. So, Drippie Eric.
Yes, I am Drippie from Sikihor Island.
Maayong adlaw mo dia Sir Eric. Eric Drippie Eric. Eric nganong Drippie Eric man imong nickname? Rick, pasabta ko na correct.
Drippie kay tungudan ng sa una magsuot-suot og mga pinadrip na lawlaw kay
So, mo na tawag na mo termino ana, mo na fashion nga.
naglanay kuno kanunay ra kong lanay.
Mo nang nag-drip ka, nag-drippy.
Yes.
Astang aligriha gade mo di pasabutan na di. Astang buanga. Kaning before we talk about your music career ba. I think it's important to begin about kaning let's talk about Alex Lim pud kay kaning si Alex Lim mudugay na sa siya sa music industry, right? And I don't know if we ever talked about it. Lex. Did we ever talk about it? Is this your first interview ba here?
No, I've been siguro mga 4 times
Here?
na.
Here in the studios?
Yeah. I even got like I remember I was here the first time when there was no elevator yet, and that was full cardio pagyapon.
Lain na po na siyang surya.
Oh.
So kani imong bit of history ba? I know you were in the commercial music industry. You were with a major label, right?
Yeah, before. Yeah.
You were working in a major label, so you were out there. You're also managing bands. In fact, you're known to have brought
Different
some artists, some local artists, and you gave them you're able to help them get national attention, di ba?
Yes.
Like Urban Dub, right?
Yeah.
and other bands, right?
Dyson K9.
Dyson K9, yeah. Speaking of Dyson K9, I actually saw them yesterday afternoon.
Shout out to Dice.
Wala sa K9 si High Sira. They were singing in the Philscap event. There was a Philscap event at Seda Ayala Center Cebu, and then ang ilang performing artist kay si High C. Iyang gikanta iyang tulo ka mga bag-o nga kanta. So
yesterday day to.
gapon to bay sa maka limot daghan kayo bitaw mga butang ang ganahan kay guadtuon sad niya makalimot ta usahay kay bawo na kang maabot na ta sa 25 anyos ba murag makalimot na ta sa masugod na kay 26 kali kalimtano na kayo. So kaning imong gibuhat karon ba kaning fire starter ba?
Yes.
This is after your career in the commercial music industry, right? So kaning imong fire starter, can you explain to us unsa maning fire starter?
So basically, after I left the majors, I wanted to really go back enjoying music, because before I was always more of the work load, and especially when you're doing national stuff, it's all like, you get to experience all that pressure of like making sure that there's numbers for every music artist you put up. But after that, I kind of left that road and just started going back to the roots where I really enjoy music. So I started DJing when I got introduced to loving the sound of Afro beats, which is something from different parts of Africa, Nigeria, Ghana. So I was listening to it since 2016 because of Drake's One Dance, and saw the artist Wizkid, and na rabbit hole na ko. But I really got into it mga after 2020 na. So then, but the whole transition going to becoming a DJ and doing the collective and started pushing for Afro sound was really after I left the major. So that was 2 years ago.
So unsa magiging fire starter di? What's
It's
a fire starter? I mean, like I know somebody who's a fire starter. I can't mention his name. Pero unsa man in what context is this name? What does this mean? What's the context?
Yeah. So I always look. I've always find it in myself to always like start something. And I remember when I was looking for artists back in the days when Dyson Kena, Urban Dub, all these artists, ambassadors, Fast Pitch. Even when I was managing back then for Power Spoons and Glitch, like I was always like starting something. So it comes from a spark of like passion, and then it becomes hopefully bigger. So this was my sort of like ode to my usual things that I do. So, but this time, I wanted to use the fire starter word because I really like the word. I just had to change it to PH so that it'll be representing of the Philippines per se. So that's why I call it fire with a PH. Fire.
So
starter.
you've been DJing in venues in Cebu. So Firestarter is a collective, right?
Yeah,
Unsa man na yung pasabotan ng collective?
It's it's a more of like a community hangout. Like it's more of like kung kinsay ganahan ani nga sound and tambay ta ana.
So mo ni imong merch, di ba? Na kay Firestarter merch. I don't know. I don't know if people can see. Can they see this?
Yeah,
okay, they can see this. Yeah. I feel so like I want to make America great again with this. You want to make America?
Tungod lang yun ni sa color.
I know.
No, I mean,
Unless you got the red on.
Yeah, I know.
So,
I got red on.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's all red, then that would look like it. But there's a white side. So.
I know. Anyway, so it's
so it's a collective, and what happens is like I started it 2 years ago with some people who were interested in it, like Zoya, which is from Iloilo.
Lindo sa kining Zoya.
She likes Afro beats, and we started toying around with releasing original music. So ever since 2 years ago to now, we've already released 10 songs under our belt as the collective. So there's songs of Zoya, songs of Drippie Eric, and moving forward, we're gonna have songs we're gonna have like tracks that are just DJs, DJ Lit and me, Mistermil. So DJ Lit's from Siargao. She's also interested. She's a big part of the collective. She does a lot of Afro pop mix, and of course Drippie Eric. And then that's basically it. And then we just do our gig like once a month. Sometimes we get more bookings, but for the collective, it's more of like we want to make sure that we make events that people would gather and be interested, because the Afro sound is still kind of relatively new, especially for Cebu. I mean, globally it's already doing really well, but here it's still at that point where it's a niche still. So yeah.
So kaning Afro beats, right? Mo ni imong mga artists, including si si Drippie Eric, or dili lain po niya yung genre niya, unsa man iyang sound niya?
It's still in the Afro sound. Afro beats. So we had this thing that we're doing now on our hashtags, because it's Afro beats na genre, but it's in Bisaya, right? So we call it Afro Biz. So para murag dol sa Afro beats ba. So it's Afro Biz. So it's the movement that we're trying to do for anyone who's interested in the Afro sound with Bisaya lyrics, or taga Cebu, taga Visayas, Mindanao, So mao na among most likely goal na mo right now. But yeah, it's really like about the passion of exposing this sound, because we believe that this sound, Manggod, is very tropical, very Cebu, very island, so I think it fits well for the lifestyle we have here.
So Drippie Eric is just one of your many artists. You have, like you said earlier, Zoya, right?
Yeah, and
Zoya and
DJ Lit.
DJ Lit.
Yeah.
And
me.
And
Mr.
of course, you. Eric, tell us about your journey. How did you get here, aside from walking all the way up here and murag nidagko inyong bagtak dire, di ba? Aside from that, like, how did you become Drippie Eric the artist? Like, what happened? What's your story? Tell us, please.
Ay, nag-try ra ko og sulat-sulat sa una bitaw. Mga songs niya. Nauna na ko. Okay man niya, kadugayan. Moro, dagan akong na-learn po sa akong kagalingon niya. Kadugayan akong na maog song. Nag-abot mi ni Sir Alex. Through a friend. Iyang friend
Kaila ba ka John Fick ba?
Kurt or John?
John Fick.
Pero kaila siguro ng John Fix na siguro?
Photographer.
Oh, kudakero. Okay, kaila ko na niya.
Siya mo
una nakakita na ako.
Asa man ka nakitaan ba?
Sa akong ni-release mo ko mga song sa una sa YouTube channel na ako.
Nakitaan na ka sa internet?
Oo.
Amin ako nakitaan ka sa
message
daan.
siya ba?
Nakitaan ka sa daan kaning natug. Okay. So nakitaan ka sa internet. Asa man ka nakitaan sa internet? I mean, like, what were you doing in that particular track? Was it a live performance? Was it like a music video? What was it?
Audio ra, release ra na ako. Release ra ko
Sa secure ni siya?
Oo, sa secure.
So kaning secure ba? I'm curious because every island of the Philippines has their own music scene. Can you describe to us the music scene in Siquijor? Kay marag peligro man kay ng Siquijor, di ba? Mo man daghang kay mga kulam, di ba? Di ba? Sakto ba ko? Secure ba ba?
Yeah.
Asa man kulam sa gabay? Paklaro dia. Basig imong kuan kog buhok ha?
Muna ipatukar gid pirmi ang songs
Mao
na.
lagi.
Kaya kung dili basing
Mao lagi. Tell me the story about Siquijor, the music scene. Ano lang naman kakulam kay basig kasabaan ta nila.
Okay raman dito, kasagaran man dito kay mga party man jud like banda-banda, reggae. Yeah. Gamay ra sad mi nga maghimo dito among kagalingon na music jud. Like dili pagid ka nang dagan na laing mga tao.
Yeah.
Ang camera.
I think Konsad, I think Siquijor now is like there's so much tourism going on over there because like, 'di ba? Kung ganahan ka mag ferry walk na mo na ilang napauso dito, 'di ba? Tungod ni Ann Curtis.
Sikat na yung
Nasikat ang Siquijor tungod anang ferry walk. Nakadto na kag Siquijor, Jigs?
O pa ko nakatok Siquijor ba? Kuyawan lagi kay naalagi mga kulam lagi ko no. So bay kaning I'm curious ba like so gamay ra kay mong manghihimog kanta dito sa Siquijor, dili kay mo daghan dito.
Dili.
So but naamoy opportunity to hone your skills dito, naamoy mga venues dito nga maka perform mo as Drippie Eric and as a rap artist or wa gyud kamoro sa inyo harang kwarto magkanta mo dito.
Sometimes like na event sila dito. Ay event nila na kalayo.
Kalayo. Kay numdum ko tong kalayong. Nakadungog ko ba nga porek puti ko nung daghanag tao ko nung kalayo ko no. Can you explain?
Kalayo Festival.
Can you tell me about that Kalayo Festival and tell me what happened kay murag medyo na gubot-gubot ndo gamay. Right?
No, grabe. Ha? Pas grabe ha. Believe ba dyan ako radar aning
mga amigo man ako ang mga usas mga organizer ato kay ilam ko ato kani nga unsa may nahitabo ba na unsa mong pagunsa ang Kalayo sa Siquijor be basig kulam sa to sa. Gyud sa man to be.
Wala na ako kabalo sa dana.
Unsa may nahibaw ani mo be?
Well, wala na kalit raman to
no. Sinara sila
pero kaning Kalayo, what is this? Is this like a reggae event or R&B event? What
music festival.
A music festival. So is this annual ba? Annual ni siya. So is this your biggest music event in Siquijor? Would you say that?
Yeah. Kay halos every year siguro na artist na i-invite or mga locals kami perform.
In case you're wondering who you're listening to, ladies and gentlemen, this is Jiggy Juice, and right beside me we have Ralph Chavez atong top of the morning. We have two very special guests this Friday morning. We have, of course, Alexander Lim, Mr. Mill, and DJ Mistermil, I should say. And of course, we have Drippie Eric all the way from Siquijor, the land of
Island of Fire.
Island of Fire.
Yeah, Isla Kalayo.
Isla Kalayo.
Yeah.
Anong kuan man na ba? Anong Isla Kalayo man na siya? Island of Fire. Because I remember I was in Camiguin a few times and it's also called the Island of Fire because it's forged by volcanoes. Anong secure Island of Fire pa na siya?
Sa una daw panahon gitawag na nila kay sa una man gud ngit-ngit mo kay na diyan yung mga fireflies ra yung
fireflies. Dili fire kaning forged by volcanoes kay Camiguin forged by volcanoes man na. So ang asa man nimong mga venues bay nga tukaranan dito as Drippie Mill kay even in Cebu I'm sure Alex can attest to that. There's rarely any venues for an R&B artist kanang rap to perform. Tagsara kayo. Maybe once in a while sa Trademark or I don't know where else. Where else can you perform R&B here?
Na
Marugwa sa?
sila kuan kana ilang grupo nilang Gion sa Reverb na
Oh, Reverb. Pero dili man siya venue
from
good.
here kanang
Mura ra man na siya
events.
Mura ra man na siya kaning workspace, di ba? Gihimo lang nila og performance space, right? So dili gyud na siya ingon nga kaning sa?
Wala na kaayo gi venue
That's so weird, sa?
push.
Isn't that, do you find that strange ba? Kaya daghan mo tag mga R&B diri, di ba?
Yeah. I mean,
ano sa imong theory na ba?
I really like. I think it's really because of, I don't know, like business wise. It's like sometimes when you like really push for just original stuff, di pa kayo open jud kasagaran mga business establishment ana ba.
Sa inyo Rick, unsa man inyohang kaning venues dito sa Manila.
Sikihor.
Sorry. Manila naman Sikihor.
Ay, usara man ka venue dito ang magkuan bibo jud San Juan. Lungsod sa San Juan. Like diha man gud ang mga tourist kasagaran daghan ba. Mga foreigner, mga taga-asa ba na.
So kaning lugar ni siya, this is a regular ni siya inyong gig diha o panagsara mo mutukar dito sa kuan?
Panagsara sad. Mao bitong reason na I always try to bring him here sa Cebu kay para lang like this week alone, weekend to this week daghan na kaayo siya natukaran like ni-perform na siya sa Trademark, ni-perform na siya sa tang mga gigs pa nato. Unya mo performance naka-pavement Pavement, shout out to King Spade, nag-Pavement Records na may later mag-Pavement na sad me, we were gonna open for Justro. Unya mo drop by sad me sa High Society Club later. Mo tukar sad me. Strap sad, we're going to Strap later to do some music content. So yeah, if you're able to drop by Strap sa kay Edel in Mango, yeah, we're gonna be there around 3.
Kana sang kuan ba kanang mga venue ha ba kanang Pavement bitaw? Di ba? It's really like a cozy small.
I think that's a good venue example for now. Like that really pushes for some local music.
Yeah.
I always see a lot of things happening
there's
there.
a lot of performances there. Pero kuan kina siya grabe kina siya ka intimate sa.
And what I like about it is like we played there the other day, and what I like about the other pavement, especially the one in near Molave, is that it's the crowd kind of tends to really listen and not really just some of these other places where they go there, party, look at their phones, and they really don't care about what's happening in the so what I like about the other pavement the other day, because we were playing full amapiano sets. I was playing full amapiano South African sound, and people didn't leave. They were like, oh, what's this sound? So there's an intrigue to it, but that's what I love about the place. It's a lot of open-minded and creative people who actually hang out there.
So kanang Pavement is actually a very small record bar owned by our friend si Bubo pa niya paghuman kaning gamay ra gyud kinasestanan niya. In fact, there's barely space for the original one. There's barely space for a band, di ba niya?
Yeah.
Kung ganahan kang kumuto ng buhok sa artist, pwede kay doon lang kay What I'm saying is it's very intimate ba.
Have you been to the new one?
Yeah, the bigger one in Lahog, right? Medyo dako jutay. Pero I'm curious ba, like as an artist ba, what does that do? Because if you're an artist ba, ni paghuman you try to perform, right? You try to mura og break in your art form. Yeah, murag dugol kay mustanan ba? I wonder what it does to the art. I know you're right. Kanang mga tao diha sa Pavement, ilang style diha kay they're really like open-minded, I would say, right? They're open-minded
creative.
to all sorts of genres, So I'm curious, what does it do to you as an artist, Eric, kung akaning Drip? Kung pananglitan, can I call you Drip? Is it okay? Drip. Is that your nick? Drip? No.
Yeah.
Drip. Kaning unsa may feeling mo, Drip, nga medyo intimate kay sa super intimate kay ba? Mura ra kag nagkanta tapad sa imong migo ba? How does it feel to you?
Okay raman. Kay ma-appreciate man sa sila sa sound man good. Maminaw sila pud ba? Nga maganahan sa sila. Like,
Yeah, we were really surprised, no? We were surprised. At first we're like, it's a new sound, so might not be but like they were like there was even a table that was started dancing because of our performance the other day. So I was like that was really cool. We do hope to have more there. Well, tonight we're gonna be there again, reminding everyone, if you are doing not doing anything tonight. Just Raw is gonna be playing at the other pavement, and we're gonna open for him. Kaila ka Just Raw, bay?
Oh, just raw, yeah, of course, yeah.
Tukar siya karong gabi. So mo-open mi sa iyaha sa other pavement.
Wow. So mo na gitawag og kaning mura og mahog og incubator, di ba? Kanang lugar like yun. Maybe
yeah.
that's if there's one place that you can perform a song for the first time, na people are not going to throw stuff at you, right? That's the place, right? And I even venture in saying ba nga nindot sa na nga feeling well, I'm sorry. It's not a good feel to be criticized and booed off the stage, right? But what I'm saying is ba if you have a new artwork mong goodbye kinanglan maganin mo paiton pagod, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kinanglan pa na nimo imuang I don't know, maybe it's still a work in progress, maybe you don't know yet how the market will feel, so this is like a small community ba, di ba? Every time you perform, your performance gets better. You know what I mean? Like you pick up something from the audience, right? So daghang kay mga storytelling sa di ba? Like is this the type of venue nga you can have like conversations with the audience?
Yeah, after the event, we actually got to meet new people, and they were like asking us where our next gig is because they were interested in the sound. So it was a really cool. That's why I posted on my personal account and just said like how cool that was that night. I think it similarly has that feel of like kani panahon mo gini ni Jiggy. Kanang artist.
John.
Panahon mo ginini mo. Pareha mo dito. Dol Roman data. Mura siya artist days ba? Sa una.
Artist days, okay.
Oh,
Kanang
kasi
murag
kinahanglan-
artsy kayo, di ba?
O mga outpost na ba? Di ba? You know how that feels, di ba nga?
Yeah.
O open ang venue sa mga... So na siya inana nga feel.
Yeah, pero mas eclectic lang ni ang pavement, di ba? Kaya katong artist day o outpost, murag there were more of rock and roll and maybe a bit of reggae, di ba?
Yeah.
It was like skewed
Band.
to
It was more band
skewed to a
related,
specific genre ba? Kaning pavement, because they're a record bar, and you know there could be a Liberace vinyl record or a Frank Sinatra vinyl record or a Drippie Eric kaning record, so they're very eclectic. Kutob lang sa mga naunaan ni Bobo puto karon dito, di ba?
Kayo ana.
So that's
and Bob was very I could say one of like Cebu's probably like tastemakers, like in terms of like music, he's always been there.
I actually saw him perform. I have seen him in a long time sa One Love, the Mandawi Quake fundraiser.
Oh, okay.
He was there. He performed live, and I think he was with his band. What do you call his band again? That
Rutical Foundation.
Rutical Foundation. So it's still same old bubo pa niya pag humalingaw kay misanan dito. So lahi po na siyang reggae, di ba? Lahi po ng reggae. Kani bang, I'm curious ba, because the vibe of reggae, mura man siya medyo similar to Afro beats. Can you tell us, is this like can you have maybe like an event nga murag reggae og sana kaning Afro beats?
I have a feeling it's because I think the sound founded really more of the tropical type of countries, right? Like Jamaica, Nigeria, South Africa, has this like really tropical vibe. So I think I could say maybe that would be the roots of it. I'm not really sure, but when I look at all these like documentaries about Jamaica and some countries in Africa, I think that's where I guess the love for yung upbeat na vibe nga murag bitaw chill ba murag naa diha sa ila na siguro kay tungod kay init sad siguro kay didto murag dire gud kung init usay ganahan ka mag-chill, so di ka ganahan magpa kuan kay ba palabis init yun, so mo nang ma-chill ay mong music murag na. So I don't know, like I think there is overlap. I've been hearing a lot of dancehall, reggae, Afro sound, particularly nowadays. So I can't wait for that to be introduced here in Cebu or Philippines in general. But it's been happening. I just saw like some national artists like Apple the App and Ilist Morena released like an Afro. I think it was Afro Ragaton. I think something like that. Just the other day, and it's starting to happen, I guess. What I like about this sound, Manggod, it's very, it has this vacation vibe. Pag mag-ingkag bakasyon, murag mo, mo bitaw ang music nga bagay ba.
Bagay sad sa Pinas, di ba? Kay tropical man gid siya, di ba? So that's actually very interesting. So I'm curious, but like I know the reggae has its own predictable beat, di ba? Kaning Afro beats, the vibe is also the same. Like the beat is also the same. Kaning count, the same, no?
Na siya well because Africa has 32 countries, so every beat per country has a different approach. But then you know that it's still Afro because there is that foundational thing that they do in the, especially in the instruments. Like the instruments that they use are very African instruments, but the beat has a, like for example, like Nigeria is known for the Afro beats. That's the count is like.
So because I know nga, but there was a time that sikat ka ining tribal music, di ba? Because I don't know if you remember Safri Duo, and that's like a Sinulog staple, right?
Yeah.
I'm curious, but like those are that's also from Africa, right?
Yeah.
So is this like a continuation of the evolution of Africa's sound? Kaning Afro beats karon was iyang mga parinti katong panahon nila ni Safri Duo, katong mga batukada, katong mga tribal music, related ni sila ba?
Related na like especially the Caribbean side na arga po na sila. Mura na nga kana nga naram ko na sila na nga area god na sila ilang staple band. Some would adopt a different sound from different areas. But
so how do they develop the beats of that? Do they also have like a computer, like a sound machine that makes beats, or do they have like physical kaning drum sets that are distinct in sound? That's why African sound is really distinct because of the instruments.
That's like they have like what they call, like right now we're listening. Drippie and I are listening to this this genre called Alte Cruise. So this Alte Cruise is like hip hop, R&B, but done in an African way. So when you listen to it, you'll hear the foundational hip hop sound and the R&B, but then you can hear the percussions of African drums. So it still has that same thing for the universal sound, but then they usually always put like the African, for example, the log drums, or there's a lot of drums that they have there. So what's specific now, getting famous now is the log drums, because they call it the singing drums. So you can hear it in some of our songs actually, because we started putting it there as well, like log drums and all, especially the Drippiano song, because we're like we're doing more of like an amapiano sound, which is a South African sound. So yeah, so daghan kaayo siya. That's why I really fell in love with it, and most of us fell in love because that there's a foundation there, but then the approach is always different every country in Africa. So lahi gid og mga ear candies ba, especially sa drums, lahi gid siya sa production.
So I know I've asked this question before, and I think our listeners would like to ask this again. When you were in the big music industry, when you were part of that industry, and what you were doing pretty much is promote Filipino artists, right? Local artists and Filipino artists in general, not just amongst within the country, but also all over the world, right? I'm curious now, how are we in that department? How, not necessarily just you, but we can talk about your journey as part of the Fire Starter Collective, but in general, like the Philippines, how are we doing in terms of promoting local Filipino artists to the world?
I believe that the exposure is already out there. It tends to be better now compared to like when I started. Back in the days. I remember I was pushing for Global Filipino in 2015 when I had my own radio show before. It was still a kind of a weird journey that time, because people think it won't really go global per se, because we're basically, when we say Filipino music, I always think it's an adaptable thing to do. So adapting the music is more like they always ask, well, what's the originality of Filipinos ba? Okay, we always like follow certain trends, follow styles, but I think that's what makes Filipino music great because we can adapt easily. Like you put a Filipino in New York, he becomes a New Yorker. You put a Filipino in Europe, he can like he or she can adapt ba. So in the music industry, I believe we have that, especially in Asia. I think Filipinos we don't need to be taught to have the soul and the passion for music. So innate siya ba. So in terms of what's happening now, we brought it to a point where a lot of people see already how talented the Filipinos are. The next question really is not about the talent and the impact that we can do as individual artists or even as an industry, but the next step is really foundational and probably government as well. Like a little bit of that. Like maybe like government can push. Or maybe,
speaking of government, the mayor of Cebu City was there at SEDA, together with our friends from PhilSCAP and a few other people in the music industry and all of that stuff. And of course, one of the important aspects of art is really for it to be sustainable, and for it to be sustainable, of course, the artist has they have to be able to eat, right? So how are we working out? Because kaning PhilSCAP man, this is a relatively new thing for the Philippines, right? Dugay na kani sa Amerika, AMSCAP man ni siya, diba? Sa Amerika, more or less gi-adapt man ni nato dire sa Pilipinas. Although the amounts of kaning subscription or payment is quite small. You could amount to siguro like maybe like 10,000 per year or something like that. Very small amount, but that's still 10,000% increase in expense for something that was zero before, diba? So my question, I guess, is because I was just there from that meeting, and I never got to ask more than one question. Jim Paredes was there, and the president of PhilSCAP was there.
Was there.
And everybody was there, but I was only allowed to ask one question. So I think it's important to ask the artists themselves, especially you, kaning Alex, kaning how's that? Like, is PhilSCAP helping artists?
For me, it's always better to have something rather than nothing, right? So, if a group like that, a collection agency group in the Philippines, is there to protect the music, well, it's better than you not getting protected. Right?
Yeah.
So, from before we didn't. Yeah, you were right. We had zero to now at least getting even as small as 2 pesos or whatever. It's still an add-on to. It's still better than having zero, right? So. I really believe in those guys. It was hard for them to really push the concept at first because a lot of establishment was like wondering why that's needed, right? But then now they've really gotten to a point where a lot because of the internet also people understand why music is very important to be an asset and has to have protection. Because remember there was issues about like election, and everyone uses a song, no one's asking for permission,
everybody's copying the song, the beat of the song. I remember
those times, diba? So now you can't do that anymore. Like, so
you could, but you get penalized, right? Or
exactly. So before you can get away with it, but now because of these groups you can actually approach them and have these people.
So but I think Manggod, like ang akong concern lang anin ba is in the United States, in the West, mura ni siya, number one, their first world, right? So mga kanang gamayang amount, gamay ra gyud kinasa na nila, like pero sa tuwa rin dako gyapon na siya masig unsa ka gamay ni mo honaon. Number one. Number two, bag-o ra sinigi introduce sa mga Filipino, so mura sag naay mura cultural shift, or they're changing the paradigm. Baka inumdum pa ko, I was still there when record companies used to pay radio stations to play their music. Now things have changed,
which is illegal.
Nabali na, di ba? Because again, that payola concept started in the United States. Remember, the mafia used to pay DJs to play music of Frank Sinatra or whatever, right? Back in the 50s and 60s, right? So kanang payola, ang hitabuan niya itong una is ang mga
Mafia.
recording companies, ang mga mafia mo bayad sa stations to play music. Karon nabali na ang station ay mo bayad, right? Which is kind of a total shift of paradigm.
No,
And
I think there's a misconception there. You don't have to pay. That's what I know. You don't have to pay collection agencies if you play music without it being a business. But if it's a business, like you're putting ads in your radio, that is a business.
yeah,
Then,
but ang akong concern lang niya na is lalayan mo og levels of business ba? Levels of profitability, right? And all of that stuff, right? Niya kung usa ka kompanya bago pagasugod pag human imo ning chargean maski piso ra dako kay nasanan, pero kung usa ka kompanya nga making so much money kana imong 5,000 mura ra sa nagpiso para niya, di ba?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I don't think they're trying to get the smaller business. They're trying to make sure that the bigger business, like a corporate,
yeah.
is the one that they're trying
kadaghanan
to,
sa mga members sa Philscap ni dito ram tagamay
Yeah.
are the big ones like mga SM, the
Yeah.
Ayalas, the Jollibees, and all of that.
No.
That's Kuya Magic is getting ready for his show. Kaning si Drip, where can they catch you perform? Are you performing this weekend somewhere? Are you going to the Pavement? Because I want to watch you perform, man.
Karong gabi
Asa man ni siya?
Pavement.
Pavement ka.
Kami
Sa
may
Pavement, nagtago. That song from Cookies. So, which branch is this?
the
Mango?
new one.
The one in Lahog.
Yeah, Molave.
Molave.
Yeah.
So, are you going to be performing with other artists?
It's actually
kami ang
the main artist is Justro,
Justro.
so we just asked him if we could open for him, and he was kind enough to give us a slot. So make sure to go there for the Justro gig. We're probably gonna be there by 9 p.m. and
Si
start the show.
Justro, kada siya perform?
Mga 10, 11 siguro.
Mauna mo.
Muna
Mauna mo.
open me. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So are you gonna be? How does it work? I'm just curious about because I've never been to kind of an R&B event at Pavements. But are you gonna be like selling CDs, merch? Like how does it work? Like what's the goal? What's the goal?
Basically, I have my kit, and then it's just we do the backing track. I mix over it, and he sings on it. And
So
then,
what's the goal there? Like just to introduce the song
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
public. So
introduce-
you're not gonna be selling any.
we're giving
CDs?
away stickers so that people will know who we are.
Okay.
Which we'll give you now
Oh.
after.
So Drip, like ikaw, you're obviously from. You mentioned earlier is from Sikihor, right? So also maka, is this like a full-time gig nimo kaning your music making, or if you don't mind me asking you, do you have like a day job or whatever?
full-time dyan ako.
Full-time na imong pag-rapper, ha? So I'm just curious, what did your parents say, man?
Okay na.
Okay na sila, suporta na sila.
Okay naman.
Okay, umbati ra sila. Okay, so what's your goal for this year, Drip? Kaning are you gonna make an album, like perform in a 60,000 seat stadium? Or what's the goal for you this year? I'm just curious. What's your goal?
Siguro, ka-album pohon pa siguro. Kay need pa na ako maggama og mga ubang songs ba? Like kami ni Sir Alex, maggama pa mig mga another songs.
So na kay mga kanta diri sa atong playlist gipatok no kaganiha katong dili man to sa dili. Napo kay lahi. O na kay Drippiano mga nganong unreleased pa na siya Drippiano pagingana to ana niya. What's the third one? What's the fourth one I mean? Lahi, dili, lingaw. So kadaghanan si mga kanta binisaya, right? Right? So tell me how it is to rap in Binisaya. How does nindot ba? Nindot murag paminan ako nindot man paminang Binisaya rap sa?
Yeah.
Ha?
Okay na jud karon.
Oh.
Sa una murag kiwa man sa una mo.
No, ba kamo ba as rappers ba nindot ba?
Okay naman.
Mura bag kaning nindot ba
Dili man
does it roll in the tongue like well like in the words? Nindot ba?
Mas okay man good kay.
Surprisingly also ang Afro beats, African slang o ang cadence is almost like Bisaya. Dool.
Oh wow. So bagay ra gyud.
Oh.
Lingaw de kay di ay. So I can't wait for you guys to perform that's happening tonight at Pavement.
And tomorrow we wanna really urge everyone to go because it's the Fête de la Musique tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. I think the team will be there, right?
Yeah, we're
right?
we're actually gonna be I'm
Going
coordinating right now with one of the co-organizers of it, and then we're gonna see if we're
So,
we'll
makanta
be
po
able
ka,
to check
makanta
it
po ka.
out.
Yeah, tomorrow there will be
Kuya
10.
Magic kaning he's getting ready for his magic hour pero he's still fixing this first. Kuya Juan mo kuno mo Kuya Magic. So next Kuya Magic Kuya anyway. Arek pila nakabukanta na himo nimo sa YouTube ug sa Spotify? Pila nakabuk na did na post nimo?
Na-release sa Spotify,
Duha pa. Okay sa YouTube dagan-dagan na gyud.
Dagan-dagan na. Pero kato pa man tong mga kwan, mga free for profit raman tong nga beat niya. Dili pa jud nga kanang na-reproduce na nga beat ba, dili jud official nga.
Yeah, officially kaya naman siya mga songs before before siya na nagkakuyog
good.
me. But the official ones have been duha. But we're about to release Lahi next month. So I think we wanna debut it here, I guess, like because it's still unreleased. Yeah.
Lahi. Tell me about the song before we play. Unsa man ang lahi ba? What? Tell me about this song. Unsa may nakalahi ning lahi?
Like palahi gyud.
I think mo reflect siya sa the idea here is to reflect about like the song when I first heard it and I started making the beat for it. I think it felt na murag it was about a different because we are in a different genre trying to introduce a genre. It's lahi, So mao na siya. And then it's a good song for people who is distinctively different from the others and wanna push for being creative.
Ikigasuwat
and
ani rek.
different.
Ikigasuwat ani. So unsa man imuhang kwan, unsa man imuhang tan-aw ning taha. Kanang lahi unsay pasabot niya na like lisod man kay pagpangita og mga urig diri sa Cebu or sa Pilipinas for that matter, mura man gyud tag kaning naam gyud tay gikopyahan ba, which is normal, right? I mean, there's very few original things, organic things. You have to have kaning been influenced by something or somebody, right? But imong tanaw rek kanang lahi, like how do you unsa man nimo pagpalahi when you create music ba, how do you become distinct?
Like,
Unsa nimo ba nga lahi ka?
Lahi sa daong style. Lahi sa daong
Sige, how do you know nga lahi ni imong style? Like how do you unsa man imong basis ana ba?
Sa pagsuwat, sa delivery na ako sa akong vocals, ang melody na ako. Like may ana. Influencer sad sa mga Afrobeats artists.
So na-influence siya pang ka sa Afrobeats artist. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to check him out. His performance is happening
Tonight and tomorrow.
wala ginandar ba akong gipaandar ni wala di madunggan. Tonight and
Let's give it a
tomorrow.
moment.
Tonight and tomorrow. Tonight they'll be at Pavements in Molave. There's a very minimal entrance fee. The event starts at about 9 p.m. And there's also Just Raw at about what time is Just Raw performing kaning bay?
Yeah, mga 10 o'clock siguro, 11 ba?
Mga alas 10 ni siya.
Most likely.
So
And
that's
then tomorrow, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eleanor for the Fête de la Musique. We are one of the stage called Tropical Thunder stage.
Tropical Thunder. Sa Eleanor again. Eleanor is where?
In Lopez Haina Street. It's near Handuro actually.
Okay. So that's going to be a lot of fun as well.
Yeah.
And
Free entrance.
Aside from that, do you have other gigs lined up? Wala pa. If you want to get a hold of Drippie, Eric, and if you want him in your venue, I am sure you would love to support local artists such as Drippie, Eric, and Mistermil, right? How will they get in touch with you if they want to have the Firestarter collective perform in their venue? How does that work? Go ahead.
The best is to actually go to our YouTube channel. It's at Firestarter. You just go to YouTube at youtube.com/@Firestarter now. Firestarter is spelled with a PH, PHIRE, starter. So, and then on socials, we're firestarter.live. So, all of our information is there. So, it's easier. Everyone, all the info of the collective. Yeah,
0999-887-6070 mo ka na nga tong text number if you want to have some shout outs and some requests or maybe even comments and suggestions. If you want to reach out to
also if
the Firestarter collective, you can get in touch with Alex Slim or Mistermil.
Yeah, if you want to
Go ahead.
hang out with us, 3 p.m. we're gonna be at the Strap skate shop. You know,
Asa maning strap skate shop ba?
sa Mango.
Murag duol sa kuan sa
Doon sa Draft Punk.
Draft
likod,
Punk,
no?
right? Oh yeah.
So we're just gonna be there hanging out. It's not like a full event. We're just making some content online.
Okay, but you can hang out with them,
Yeah.
with the band and I'm sorry, the artists. Okay, daghang salamat. Daghang salamat. Thank you so much, Drippie, Eric, and Mistermil.
Yeah.
It is always a pleasure to talk to you, man. I mean,
salamat.
we should do this one regularly, and I know that you have many other artists.
Are we playing Lahi or?
Yeah, we'll play Lahi later on once we go offline.
Ending the live. You know.
Yeah, we'll end the live. 0999-8876-070.
right.
If you want to do some shout outs, some requests,